Hi, and thanks for joining today's training. We are going to show you exactly how to maximize your basement waterproofing leads without spending a single penny more on advertising. This is a really important topic. I'm going to share some things you can do that can have a tremendous impact, but don't take that much effort and require almost no money at all. Specifically, some of the things we'll be talking about today are the importance of conversions from your website, what a fully optimized website looks like, and the 13 critical factors that will actively improve your conversions. Let's face it, we're not interested in website visitors or how long they hang out on your website. We need leads. I'm also going to help you identify exactly who you're going after so you can speak to them much more effectively. I'm going to move fast and I'm going to share some really important concepts. I know we all like to multitask, but if there's a way you could just tone down your distractions, turn off your cell phones, and turn off Facebook, I'll get right to the point. I want to grab your attention and bring you really good value here. Here's a quick background on me. I own this company. We specialize in servicing basement waterproofing and foundation repair contractors. Our team has been doing this for about 15 years. Before that, I owned a waterproofing company for 15 years, so as you can imagine, I'm really familiar with this specific industry. My agency has won awards from Google. I wrote a book on digital marketing for basement waterproofing and foundation repair. I'm a longtime board member for the Basement Health Association, and we also host an industry podcast. Lastly, I coach 25 and 30 digital marketing companies. Let's talk about what happens when someone comes to a website that converts well. What happens is we get increased lead generation. We get improved sales performance because your reps are seeing more leads and they're seeing leads that are more interested and engaged because you've built high credibility. Your marketing efforts and your return on investment for advertising dollars are much better. I know that's a really important factor for owners. All of that gives you a stronger brand presence, more trust, and a massive competitive advantage. Let's identify the problem with marketing. It can be challenging and it's incredibly expensive. It's a big investment. It's rather challenging to grow your company without spending money on marketing. I suppose you can live in that small world of getting some referrals and doing a little bit of business. But we all know if you want to scale your company, you have to be good at marketing. Rarely do I hear an owner say they have so many leads they don't want anymore. Sometimes that happens when you get heavy rains, but when you don't have enough leads, that's a major problem. You might have invested good time, energy, and money into training new sales reps. You think the timing is perfect, but then you realize you need the lead volume to keep them busy. Another problem is you're spending a lot of money, but you don't really know what's actually working. You might feel like half your marketing is working, but you just don't know which half. When you get a low return on investment of your advertising dollars, it's incredibly painful. It's always hard to think about spending so much money and not getting a return. When I owned my waterproofing company, we used to send out 9 to 10 million mailers a year. We'd run half-page ads in those glossy direct mail magazines, similar to Clipper magazine. For many years, it worked really well, but toward the end, there were a couple of months where I'd only get 2 leads from an entire million mailer drop. Since I was spending over $5,000 a month, that meant each lead was costing me around $2,500. That gets painful really fast. When you don't have leads, you don't have sales, you don't have a backlog, and it is super stressful as an owner. We take on that responsibility. We're responsible for keeping people busy, keeping them employed, and making sure there's money in the bank so when payroll hits, everybody gets paid and everybody's happy. It's absolutely critical, and it all falls on us as owners. It all starts with leads. You can't grow your business without leads. I want to start talking about having a great website that's built to convert. We don't want web visitors. If a digital marketing company comes to you and says, look at all the web visitors we have and look at the time on site, we improve the time on site from 1 minute and 10 seconds to 1 minute and 20 seconds. You need to tell them, I need leads. That's how I think. Consistently converting visitors to leads is where it all starts. There's so many little things involved. I like to say, in digital marketing, there are no magical wands. There are just thousands of little things you have to pay attention to and improve on. The formula is simple. Leads equal opportunities to sell, sales equal backlog, and that revenue equals business growth and peace of mind. It can be super rewarding. You get momentum and consistent growth with leads. But if you don't have leads, it's super challenging. What does success actually look like? It looks like the phones are ringing. You're booking leads, your sales reps are running those leads. They're selling, you're building your backlog, you're adding crews, and your business is growing. That's what it's all about. I want you to rethink how important your website is and how people are judging you by it. It's the hub, it's the new storefront. This isn't the last century. Customers aren't walking to your store, they're viewing everything online, so what you look like online really matters. I want to take you through some simple math. Look at scenario 1. There are 1,500 visitors. That's somewhat average for a website in our space. If you only convert 5% of those visitors into leads, you end up with 75 leads. Let's say you pitch all 75 leads and your closing percentage is 25%. You end up with 19 jobs. With a $10,000 average job size, you're adding $190,000 worth of backlog into the production department. Now look at scenario 2. There's only one factor I'm changing. You still have 1,500 visitors, but now you're working with a 9% conversion rate. Look how everything changes. Instead of 75 leads, now you're at 135 leads. The closing percentage is still 25%. Now you have 34 jobs sold. With that same $10,000 average, you're adding $340,000 worth of revenue into the production department. That's a massive difference. The only difference here is how many web visitors you converted into a lead. Is your website built to convert? How important is it to you to get your website fully optimized? Do you want an optimized website? Absolutely. After looking at the math, if you could just make some simple changes and improve your conversion rate by 1 or 2%, that adds a whole bunch of revenue into the production department. Let's review the 13 critical elements to enhance conversion. Number 1, speak to your target avatar. What are their fears and frustrations? When I first got into internet marketing about 16 years ago, I went to the best in the business. There was a gentleman with a PhD who was very well known. Back then, his fees were $450 an hour. He took me through an exercise where he had me close my eyes, put my fingers on the keyboard, and have a conversation. He asked, "Who's your typical customer? Male or female?" I said, "Female." "How old is she?" 45. "Is she a mom?" "Yes." "How many kids?" 2 kids. Then he asked what would motivate her to sit down in front of a keyboard, what she's feeling, and what words she'd actually type in. You really have to understand who your avatar is. In waterproofing, we tend to think our avatar is just somebody with a leaky basement, but if you really want to speak to their world, you have to go deeper. Number 2, why should they choose you? If you knew nothing about basement waterproofing and had a problem, who would you choose? What would you type in? If you think you choose based on reviews, then you need to look at what you like about those winning websites. Number 3, be real. A lot of the data around website conversions shows that people want authenticity. Don't be the Wizard of Oz hiding behind a curtain. Really show people who you are. Number 4, use video throughout your website. I don't need to tell you video is huge right now. When TikTok exploded a few years ago, most of us started consuming information differently. Then Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube all pushed short-form video. Pretty much everybody is moving toward video. Lean into that. Put short videos on your website that people can engage with and learn from. It's a great way to help people connect with your company. Number 5, leverage social proof. Do you have reviews on your website where people are absolutely raving about your company? Number 6, get the basics in order. Sometimes these things get missed. Put the phone number in the top right-hand corner. Make sure you have a web form. Include third-party authority symbols like the BHA, the BBB, and ANGI. Number 7, make sure you have clear calls to action. Some people think they don't need to explicitly tell customers to call. But when you test it, if everything is equal except one site has more calls to action, that site is usually going to convert more people. All these little things add up. Number 8, use special offers and coupons. Break time equals zero point 0.5 seconds. People like feeling like they got a deal or worked an angle. Put a special offer out there. Number 9, make sure your mobile website has click-to-call functionality. Make it easy for people to reach you. Remove every barrier possible. Even if you think one extra click isn't a big deal, eliminate it. Make it super easy for somebody to connect with you. Number 10, leverage live chat. Break time equals zero point 0.5 seconds. About 12 years ago, people realized texting was becoming more common than email. We all know how common texting is now. Most of us probably text 50 times a day. Live chat lets people stay behind their phone if they're not ready to talk to somebody yet. Number 11, give clients the option to book online. I look at this like fishing. If your goal is to catch as many fish as possible, do you bring one fishing pole or 5 fishing poles with different bait in different spots? Who's going to catch more fish? The person using 5 poles? That's the same idea here. A customer can connect with you through live chat, online booking, a web form, or a phone call. When barriers are low and it's really easy to reach you, you're going to convert more web visitors into leads. Number 12, site speed matters. We live in a world where everything moves fast. Our brains move fast too. You need a fast-loading website. Number 13, leverage marketing automation. Technology is really inexpensive these days, and it can absolutely improve your funnels and your follow-up. Let me show you a couple examples of things I think are really helpful. Here's an example of a web form. Notice the web form is the first thing you see because we naturally read from left to right. It says, "We're here to help you," and "free inspection." It doesn't ask for a lot of information. On this site, I didn't have to click a separate Contact Us button, and that removes an extra click. Also notice the social icons are on the left, not the right. I don't like them on the right because people expect the phone number to be on the right. Here's an example of live chat too, always in the right-hand corner. Now, look at the image. It's a happy family. I really believe people trust websites more when they see a person first. Our brains can be lazy, and the last thing most people want to see is a wall of tiny text. Here, you immediately see a happy family in a basement, and the customer instantly thinks, "Okay, I'm in the right place." Here's one more example. There's a big call to action and a phone number right at the top. There's no confusion there. There's also a web form. The social icons are on the left again, and there's a branded truck with a video. That truck communicates that this isn't just some guy in a truck company. It shows they're a larger company doing larger jobs. On our website at Rainmaker for Contractors, if you go to the resources page, we have a free download called Website Conversion Factors for Contractors. It's basically a cheat sheet that covers many of the things I'm talking about in today's training. Feel free to grab that. If you can see your company through the customer's eyes, you're going to be much more effective because you can sell what they actually want to buy. Really try to think through how your customer sees you, along with their fears and frustrations. I'm guessing a lot of you have already gone through the exercise of identifying your avatar. Who's your ideal customer? In this exercise, you actually give that person a name, so internally you can refer to her as Lisa. What are Lisa's pains, fears, goals, and dreams? This is a really good exercise for sales reps too. It's important for your reps to really understand what a homeowner feels when they're dealing with water in their basement, concerns about property value, and health issues. Here are some common answers to those questions. She's a homeowner, typically 35 years or older, because homes are expensive. Usually the female is driving the decision and is often the main decision maker. She's married with a couple of kids. Household income is usually $75,000 or more. She's family-oriented and responsible. She takes care of her home. The grass is cut. She's frustrated because she's tired of dealing with a leaking basement. She's not very handy, and honestly, you're not really looking for the do-it-yourself customer. Those people usually try to fix everything themselves to save money, and basement waterproofing is extremely tricky. Her pains and frustrations are pretty simple. She's tired of dealing with foundation problems. She's concerned about mold and health issues. She gets frustrated because she can't fully relax or go on vacation without worrying about her house during a heavy rainstorm. What are her fears? She's afraid contractors are going to rip her off. She's afraid they'll give a great sales presentation but do poor quality work. She doesn't want to overpay, and she definitely doesn't want sloppy workmanship. Let me give you a personal example. About a year ago, we had a sewer backup. The insurance company recommended a restoration company. It was a local company that had been bought by a huge private equity firm. I had a terrible experience with them. It literally took them a month just to get carpet samples out to us. And I only had one request. I told them we have dogs, and looped carpet gets destroyed by dogs, so I specifically asked for non-looped carpet samples. A month later, they sent us looped carpet samples anyway. I fired them immediately. Those are the exact fears homeowners have: bad communication, big promises, no follow through. The more you can prove you're not that type of company, the more trust you're going to build. Her goals are simple. She wants a basement that's never going to leak again. She wants usable space for her kids, and she wants peace of mind when she travels. Here's messaging that works really well for website conversions and trust building. Unbeatable lifetime warranties, over 40 years of experience. The longer you've been in business, the better that looks. So lean into it. Easy and affordable financing. About half the deals we did at my company were financed, so you definitely want to offer financing options. A trustworthy and experienced team matters too. A lot of successful companies are successful because they have strong production teams that can solve unique problems. And finally, communicate that you're local and that you serve their specific area. Speaking directly to your ideal customer near the top of your website is extremely important. Our brains move fast, and subconsciously, people are asking themselves two questions right away. Am I on a waterproofing website? And is this a local company? Use lines like best in the industry warranties, experienced, licensed, and insured professionals, affordable no money down, zero interest financing. Those types of lines help convert web visitors into leads. Be real and authentic. I like this picture because not everybody's standing there in perfect uniforms. It feels real. It shows exactly who they are, while also communicating that you're dealing with a large and capable company. We've all walked into a grocery store and seen a picture of the general manager in a suit with a quote about customer service. Why do they do that? Because it puts a face behind the company. It shows who's responsible. Who do you trust more? A huge corporation where you have no idea who to contact, or the owner stepping up and saying, I'm responsible. Lean into that. Show up. Use video. Have a welcome video on your site. We've actually had guests from our podcast put those videos on their websites, and customers later told them they chose their company because they watched the podcast and liked how the owner interacted with the team. Leverage social proof. Whether you like it or not, reviews are already out there. I like pulling the reviews that highlight our clients in the best possible way. Make your Google, Angie, and BBB badges easy to find because people subconsciously look for those immediately. Get the fundamentals right. Make your web form easy to find. Don't play hide and seek with how people contact you. This instantly adds credibility. Adding a live chat feature with a picture of a real person feels safe. Subconsciously, people think, she seems safe to talk to. Live chat can increase lead conversions by 20%, which is huge. And honestly, live chat is really inexpensive. If it brings you just 2 or 3 additional leads a month, it's already worth it. Make sure your website is mobile friendly. At least half, and sometimes up to 75%, of your web traffic is coming from mobile devices. You want to remove every possible barrier that keeps people from reaching out to you. After a poor user experience, up to 89% of people will switch over to a competitor's website. I've done it myself plenty of times. If somebody isn't paying attention to their website, what are they going to do when they're trying to help me? It's hard to believe the back end of the company is organized if the front end looks sloppy. We use a WordPress plugin that adds a green bar at the bottom of the screen with a phone icon. Green means go. It's a very clear call to action for click to call. Don't make people try to click on a tiny text phone number. Treat everybody like third graders and don't expect them to read your mind. Keep it extremely simple. Website speed really matters. We live in a world where everything moves fast, and honestly, most of us probably have at least a little bit of ADD at this point. We put all of our clients on Google servers to make sure their websites load quickly. It's pretty rare to get a desktop speed score of 91, but we actually got this one to 100. Mobile scores are usually lower, though. This mobile score started at 32, and we improved it to a 91. You can check your own site for free using Google Page Speed Insights. We took this mobile site from a 7.2-second load time down to 2.3 seconds. That kind of improvement can increase conversions and bring in more leads almost immediately. Here are the key ideas. Use authentic team photos. Add video to increase engagement. Create videos for each service. Showcase your online reviews. Make sure your website basics are dialed in. And run a Google Page Speed test. Put your phone number in the top right corner. Include a web form. Add authority symbols. Customize your calls to action. Use page-matched offers. Add live chat to your website and offer online booking. Your website is the hub collecting all of these visitors, and you want to make sure your conversion funnel is set up to capture those phone calls and web forms. Taking action immediately is the fastest path to success. It's great to learn this stuff, but it's even better to actually implement it. What can you implement right away that would impact your business? Can you write down 3 things right now? Then put 30 minutes on your calendar tomorrow to map out how you're going to implement these changes. Version 1 is always better than version none. If you'd like a custom video of me reviewing your website and identifying ways to improve your conversions, contact us. Just drop your URL in the chat and I'll send you a video. We also offer a complete online analysis completely free of charge. We'll look at your website and your entire online presence to show you how to generate more leads. Here's how you can reach us. Our website is Rainmaker for Contractors. You can fill out a web form or book a quick 10 to 15-minute call online. Thanks so much for joining today's training. I hope you got a lot out of it. Take care.